Don't push me in the pool.
I am really fortunate to work with people that I do work with.
There are not a lot of people who you could hang the label contractor on, who are about the love of it, right? And I mean, you are a general pool contractor, but yeah, like that's clearly a term that doesn't work well. And I know, at least for us, like we get skeptical around, you know, contractors.
Always a tentative relationship on the front end as you're, you know, trying to make sure nobody's taking advantage of you. You're getting what you think you're paying for.
You know, he doesn't just say I'm a pool contractor. You know, he's an educator. You know, he's trying to tell other people how to do things better and stuff. So we felt that was probably the direction we wanted to go.
He'll come in and be like everybody else. In fact, instead of him coming in and plopping a brochure in front of us, he put your book in front of us of past projects, which, you know, that's a good sales technique too, to show us here's what we can do. But
that's not what he talked about.
It wasn't. He set it down and he never opened it.
We came up here and I'm the first one to admit I'm no good at designing things. So I'm glad I kind of went along with all his recommendations, and they all turned out fantastic. And everybody that comes through just loves it. So now it's going to be one of the highlights of the house.
I don't know how you can convince people on the internet of the authenticity of that, because it's hard to believe that there are people like that. And I think it took us a little while to realize how far you go.
From an explanation standpoint, I think you prep people for the process very well online. So don't come in expecting a fiberglass shell pool and you to come over and dig a hole in the ground and 3 days later it's done and filled with water. I mean, that's not your company at all. No.
Well, clearly that was a dilemma for us because I couldn't conceptualize exactly what I was getting. And so I would say you just got to trust them and do it. You won't be disappointed.
Al have all of this experience and like he keeps saying, the artistic vision for the space and for what we want it for. It just, if you're going to spend the money, do it right.
It very quickly into the project, we realized that he was definitely over-delivering on every aspect, and it never ceased throughout the project. So, yeah, I don't want him to go away. We'll keep finding reasons to bring him back.
Because we're like, oh man, we really need to be like, we're worried that you're losing money and stuff because you keep like, how about some chairs? How about a pie safe? Look, it's a Ford light. Hey, check out the slate roof, right? The stuff just keeps coming, and I know it's a labor of love. Know that on the other side, like, we want to make sure that, because we don't want you living in a cardboard box, because that would just be wrong. Well, I mean, okay, we don't want your kids living in a cardboard box. How about that? Like, you can. Katie, not so much.
A neat feeling to know that he wasn't just trying to sell us a new car. He's trying to sell us a car that we're happy to use. We're going to want to be out there using it all the time, which, you know, it's different when you buy a pool than buying a car. You play in a pool. You want to be out there using it. If you dump all this money into it and you don't like it, it's not going to feel good.
You know, just let them finish. It's like you look at something and you're like, oh, I wonder how that's going to be. And it's like you can sit there and guess forever. It's like, oh, just let them finish. And it's like, oh my gosh, really? You know, like.
You got to just kind of have the faith and just, like you have the faith right now that I won't push you in the pool. Oh, you got to have that same type of faith. You would have taken me with you, of course.
Okay.
We were bubbling over with that, you know, new relationship energy. The minute you walked out, and I'm just like, oh my God, she's awesome.
All the times you're saying, you know what, I think it'd be really cool if you had this rope here with the tree things, right? I'm just gonna do that. Okay, that's really cool, right? Like, hey, there's these really neat chairs that I found. You want these chairs? Oh, okay, that's really cool, yeah. And like that just keeps coming. That's so rare.
He is the most just genuine, passionate, honest person I think that I've come across from a contractor standpoint or just a general person. So
I thought we weren't in Al's league, honestly.
Oh. Yeah.
That's what was intimidating. I thought that just there was no way that we were going to be. I thought we were too common.
Passionate, right? Certainly creative, right? Which is not a term that I sling around lightly. I don't know exactly what the word is. Like, now that I've learned that organic is the right word for it, I would say organic, but I would feel to somebody else like I needed to explain that. And it's feeling your way through the possibilities, right? Because you can't, I think, see at the beginning what all the real possibilities are.
It is knowing kind of ahead of time, and that's why we're kind of doing these videos, is to help other people understand the process and how it happens, and kind of reiterate that it is really real. Everything that is explained on your website, the stuff on your videos, it's exactly the experience. It's an amazing experience, to tell you the truth.
The kind of surprise factor, and it's just like getting a surprise box. You get that present, you don't know what it is, and you got to understand that going in. It's kind of back to that other question, but once you kind of accept that that's the way it's going, I think Al does a great job. There's little things, like I said, we'll look at some little thing and we'll say, well, that's not right, or that's not right, or stuff, and you don't have to say anything to him. Just leave it alone. He sees it, he catches it, and he takes care of it.
This is my thank you to you.
Oh, no,
for
thank
being an
you.
awesome
And that has been our mantra. It's been, just let him finish. It's like, you're so
Just let
quick
him
to
get
be
done.
like,
no, I gotta tell you, it's too great of a project not to want to show off. So when you see this finally come together, and especially at night when the fire's going and the water's on, I can't even picture a place that we'd rather be. So
Cool at first sight.